so I was running over a cord. So I guess while I'm waiting for people to join, let's see, what if we adjust more like that? I'm trying to keep the overhead lighting out of view. It's kind of crazy. Oh my goodness. My office is an absolute mess. I don't know how y'all's gets, but I literally have stuff everywhere. Good evening, Sir Wild. But yeah, no. Hi, Tina. Good to see you back again. But yeah, no, as I said, my office is... Good evening, Vanessa. ICG Productions, Sheikah, Mr. Lady, Tina Elliott. Yeah, it has been a while, Tina. Hi, Jerry. So hopefully I'm not missing anybody, sorry. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Kathy Ann Franco. So there's some new faces and there are some ones that I'm used to. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Susan. Hi, Tiffany and Julius and Deb. How's Australia doing, Deb? I keep seeing, I know that a lot of things have gotten better, but I know that it's not all the way here. Hi, Autumn. Hi, Brenda. But yeah, no, we've been keeping Australia in our prayers. I know what it's like. Hi, Jonathan. I'm glad that you're addicted to my videos. It's so nice of you to say. But yeah, with everything that happened in Australia, we know what it's like to deal with natural disasters where we live. So I can only imagine. And I know Queensland, I'm pretty sure that's been affected because my husband, whenever he was in Australia for work, he was in Adelaide, and I think that's nearby, but I could be completely and utterly wrong. I'm glad you're able to catch me live again, Andrea. Hi, Donna. Hi, Perla. Hi, Susan. But yeah, no, you know, Tuesdays are just kind of that fun and laid back and easy kind of video where we just kind of chit chat and talk. And you know, I've always feel like it's a great way for y'all to get to know me. I look terrible, no makeup on. I did put on a little bit of lipstick, or not lipstick, lip gloss, because my lips are so super crusty right now. And as you can tell, I'm in a sweatshirt because it is freezing cold outside. We have about 40, low 40s at night and mid to upper 50s during the day, which I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, that's like a spring day. Well, for us, we don't have very many cold days down here in Southeast Texas. So it's cold to me. It just is. It's terrible. I don't know. But anyways, so I don't know if anybody has any questions. Okay, so we've been to Galaxy's Edge at Disney World. But Rise of the Resistance wasn't open yet. Yeah, I know that it's cold right now in Central Florida. Everybody was talking about the wind chills and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Y'all are like us and y'all know what it's like to say that it's cold. Oh, Lucy, that just makes me so happy. But yeah, Susan, so I saw the Galaxy's Edge. We did do the Millennium Falcon ride, which 17, no thank you, ma'am. Cannot do, no. Cold weather is not my friend. Cameron has always joked that he wants to move to Canada. And I'm like, I'm not coming to visit you. See, in New Mexico, does it stay cold at night and then warm during the day? But, you know. But yeah, no, we did the Millennium Falcon ride, which is actually pretty difficult. My husband and my father-in-law were like the gunners, and me and my mother-in-law were the pilots, and my job was to control left and right. Hers was up and down. We failed that mission so bad. It was so bad. But we are planning on doing a road trip, like just a great classic road trip this summer, because I used to do those when I was a kid. and I thought they were fun. And we're going to, like, before my dad passed away, my adopted dad, just so you know. And, like, I want to bring the kids, we want to go to California. I want to bring them out to Disneyland and to Universal. Oh, I'm sorry you gotta go. See, yeah, no, Georgia's too cold. Any place that gets snow on a regular, so when the, I'm glad you like the Thermoflex. It's awesome. And that's what I try to tell people is once you try it, you won't go back to the Easy Weed. I'm just not, and honestly, it's not how the Easy Weed performs because it performs great. My big problem with Caesar Easy Weed is how it washes. The Reagan presidential, well, see, what we want to do for sure is I want to bring the boys to the Alamo. I want to, since we're driving to California, I want to go to the Grand Canyon and bring the boys to like the Carlsbad Caverns and stuff like that. But anyways, and someone said something about a problem with the edges when they were etching on the Dollar Tree plates. What type of vinyl were you using? Because sometimes that vinyl's not stiff enough, and if you don't squeegee it down real well, you're not going to get crisp edges. You have to make sure it's squeegeed down real well, and you've got to make sure you're using a good vinyl, because if it doesn't have enough adhesive and it's not sticking down, that etch cream, even though it's thick, it still is a liquid, so it can get under those edges and it'll make it where it's not nice and crisp. Just so you know. And I think that's what y'all are talking about. Oh, fabric, and I have never done the fabric and dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Honestly, I've seen it done, but that seemed like, hi Lacey, a lot of work whenever, since I do vinyl and stuff like that, that I could easily recreate that with. Yes, the Cricut transfer tape's terrible. What I sell on our website is, it's our tape brand, and it's a paper tape, and it has a paper backing, which I love because I can cut off exactly how much I use. Because if y'all have noticed, whenever I do tutorials and stuff like that, because I've been in the sign industry for a long time, vinyl is not the most expensive thing. Transfer tape is more expensive per yard than vinyl. So with transfer tape, I save it, I reuse it, and I like to be able to use, like, keep those little pieces. Yes, it's our tape. And it's on our website too if you're looking for it, Lacey. Which is, well, I don't have a description box down below. Let's see if I can add. Nope. Whenever I'm going live from my phone, I can't really add comments, but our website is www.cuttincornersvinyl.com. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It's been gross and yucky. Hi, Dar. Around here, because we had the cold front come through. Okay, so Jonathan, I use parchment paper whenever I am doing like a direct to garment shirt, or if I'm doing like dye sublimation. But the problem with parchment paper is it's not constantly reusable. It does get to the point where after reheating it several times, it breaks down and gets crispy and crunchy. The thing with using a Teflon sheet is, and you know, people are like, oh, it's expensive. Well, the thing with a Teflon sheet, yes, you buy it once though. Like I have, don't know what that sound was. But I literally have Teflon sheets that from the first heat press I've bought that still work beautifully. Teflon is not one of those things that you're constantly having to replace. So I would always, always, always recommend taking and investing in a Teflon sheet. See, and that's, in trying to explain that to people, like, I will only live in the South. Like, but I mean, I've lived in other places before. Like when my husband was in the Navy, we lived in California. I will never live in California again. I like to visit California. Hi, Marcia from Ohio. Marcia. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, see, and Caitlin, yeah, Teflon sheets are great. But we lived in California. We lived in Kalinga, California, which is about 45 minutes outside of Fresno. Hi, Ann. I'm glad you're able to catch a live. Okay, perfect. It's cold and it snows where Marcia is at. Oh, God. Yeah, no, that's not what I like. Well, anyways, where we were stationed at, it was about 45 minutes outside of Fresno. My husband's naval base was actually in Lemoore, California, which is nowhere near water. And hi, Laura, which was weird to me because it's like you expect naval bases to be near the water. No, because we had been in Pensacola originally. And then we went to California, and I did not like California. Where we lived at, it was a tiny little town, which was great, but there was a lot of agriculture around. There are things that I didn't know, like on the farms in California, because they packed the poor little cows in. So, hi, Yasmina, that they have methane meters because it can be toxic and dangerous. Like there can be explosions because the methane that cows put off when they have gas. Oh, see, you live in Fresno, which Fresno is not bad. As I said, we lived in a tiny little bitty town. We had a Burger King, and then there was a Taco Bell in a gas station, and I think that's all that was there. And we found out after we moved there that like all the buildings in the town had oh, it's specialty materials. Thermoflex Plus is my regular basic. That is what I love. Hi, Mary from St. Augustine, Florida. And you used to live in Fresno? See, that's the thing about it. From Carbondale, Pennsylvania. See, I need to do more travel up north. And like, yes, we do ship to Australia. Just so you know. And it's actually kind of funny because the guy who owns Specialty Materials, David Saunders, his family lives in Australia. He was born in England but lives in Australia. He spends half his time here and then half his time in Australia. They have a place in there's businesses in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But yeah, no, California was not my favorite thing in the least little bit. I guess is the best way, because it was just a completely different lifestyle than what I'm used to in Texas. And it's not to say that the people in California are bad or anything like that. It's just in a small town, you expect to be able to know your neighbors and things like that. And it wasn't like, people just didn't seem as friendly and open as they are down here in the South. But yeah, no. Like one of the things I was talking to Mary about, like we wanted to be able to take more road trips because she wants to go to like Cape Cod so bad. And you know, the kids are getting bigger and we're like, I wanted to be able to travel a little bit more. But yeah, if I didn't live in Texas, my ultimate goal is to be able to retire to Florida. I love Florida. I was actually born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A lot of people don't know that. And when my husband was stationed in Pensacola, which I love Pensacola, but I think if I'm going to move to Florida, I want to be more in the central, close. What do you need help with? But I think I want to be closer to like Disney World and stuff like that because I'm absolutely obsessed. Bugs. Yes. But yeah, no. But yeah, Central Florida is like the end. That's where I want to retire to. I always like, I don't know, especially like being a kid. Y'all remember the show Golden Girls? Seeing those 4 women live, and I think they were closer to Miami though. Jonathan, you can put a lot of layers of vinyl on top of each other without an issue, but you really don't want to layer too many because it gets super duper thick. Like typically I won't layer more than 2 or 3 layers. Yeah, see, you're about 30 minutes to Disney World. That's like my goal. which again, we're not planning on doing that till we get closer to retirement age. I mean, because like it's not only that, I have a nephew who's little. Lacey, you just got to do your research. You need to find out what you love, because the thing is, whenever you have a business, you want to know your products inside and out, and don't sell something just because it's cheap. You want to make sure that you're selling what is a product that you believe in. And that's one of the things, and I've tried to press that several times, you know, because it might seem like I get paid by specialty or whoever to promote stuff. That's not the case, because if I was paid, I would have to disclose that. I'm not in like a contract with anybody to be able to only sell one brand of material. I've made it that way, and I will only talk about the things that I love. Typically, whenever I'm doing a powder coated travel mug, I use Oracal 651 with no problems. I mean, it works great. But anyways, I am sorry, I missed your comment. Let's see if I can scroll back up. Well, and you can't just charge for what you use, Mary. One of the things, whenever you're running a business, you have to charge the cost of, so that way you're making money. Because if you're not charging over what you use, you're not actually paying for everything that goes into it. One, you're not paying for your time, you're not paying for your utilities, you know, the extra electricity from running heat presses or things like that. And then you also have to be careful, because what if you mess something up? I mean, and even me, who's done this for many, many years, I still can mess things up. So you want to make sure that you have that. That's why it's 2.5%. Yes, 651 is great to use for all your signage. We use that, and we use a lot of 3M, like whenever we're doing big printed signs. It works great. But yeah. But you shouldn't, Mary. I mean, you got to look at it this way. Everybody's got to make a living. And the way that I look at things whenever it comes to that is, you either pay what needs to be paid for me to be able to make a living, or I'm not going to take the time out to do the job, because I've got 3 kids and a husband and 3 dogs. And yes, Mr. Rooster, we do full color print signs and everything. We have an HP and a Roland big pen printer. We do banners, we do it all. But I don't think it's fair to want to take time away from my family and not make what I deserve to make. And it's not like I'm sitting here charging an arm and a leg. But yeah, we have to be able to make, and like whenever we have employees, like I have a girl who still works for us and she's wonderful, but until she actually started making things and really realizing how much work went into it, it was hard for her to understand why we had to charge what we have to charge when we're doing custom stuff, because she'd be like, well, they said they can only afford this. Well, everybody's got a budget in mind. If you can't afford to have it done with this many materials, we can do things that I typically charge 2.5% over what wholesale cost is to me. And other than that, where cost comes in is if we have custom artwork. Custom artwork is a minimum $25 fee. You may not have that ceramic dish, may not have the best coating on the outside, because typically Oracal 651 doesn't just sit there and come off unless it's been picked at or soaked, or like when you went to wash it, if the ceramic coating on that butter dish isn't like a full wear. Okay, so ceramic it's like a glaze over a more porous surface. So if the coating wasn't even over that porous surface and water was able to get under it, it can mess it up. Or if your water pressure is too high. That's like whenever we do trucks and stuff like that, we tell people don't use a pressure washer or go to the car wash and blow sideways on your letters on your car, because that can lift the product. I mean, it is what it is. It is still an adhesive sticker. And if you're needing something more permanent, they do make special paints that are made for like ceramic, and you can take and make a stencil out of your Oracal, use the ceramic paint, and then bake it, and then it is going to be more permanent. But again, it kind of depends on the look and the feel and what you're wanting to do with it and how long you're needing it to last. Because even if you paint it, it's not going to last forever. Again, Jonathan, Oracal 651 is a great outdoor vinyl. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oracal 651 is... Yes, you can choose in-store pickup. And if you're local, you're also more than welcome to call the store and let them know that you want to purchase something, and they can pull the items for you and you can pay when you pick up. I mean, that's not anything major. But yeah, no, okay, back to Oracal 651. It is designed for outdoor use. Most colors are designed for 5 to 7 years outdoors in direct sunlight. Now, depending on... Yes, you do, Lucy. You have to have your wholesaler, like all your tax IDs and all that kind of stuff, to be able to order wholesale. Latrina, Wet Bulldog SVG, we have a lot of them on our website. What are my favorite Disney ears? That's a good question. Probably the ones that are in the center with the big black bow. Those with the rhinestones on it. Nadia made me those for my birthday a couple of years ago, and I absolutely adore that because they're homemade and she made them for me. Those are my favorite. But yeah, other than that, the ones up with the houndstooth pattern. Yes, Tiffany, I've used infusible ink. I do have videos on using infusible ink as well. Because infusible ink, the only thing is dye sublimation. I mean, that is all that it is. It's just printed dye sublimation on paper. Yeah, just do that, Anne, and we can definitely, because... Yes, Linda, let's talk about infusible ink. I think it is extremely expensive for what it is. You can easily, like, whenever I went and bought this stuff yes, Nadia's still working with me. She's actually designing a lot of SVGs and stuff now. She's wanting to learn how to do the artwork aspect of it. But infusible ink, like whenever all the products first came out, I went and bought a whole bunch of stuff at Michael's. I spent about $200 on infusible ink products. There are cheaper, nicer shirts than the Cricut brand. And then my Sawgrass printer, I bought that at the ISS show in Houston. Yes, Mary, vinyl can go bad. But for it to go bad, the thing is that you have to have it for many, many, many years. And typically it has to be in a place that is not temperature controlled for it to mess up. But my Sawgrass dye sublimation printer, and now it only prints 8.5 by 11, which is plenty big for what I bought it to do, was $495. So, and I have printed a whole lot of stuff on that Sawgrass, and it has definitely paid for itself. Cricut infusible ink, I think Now the markers for it are super cool. I do like the markers for infusible ink, but I don't think that the papers and stuff like that are not really worth it, nor the products, because again, if you're don't have a local shop that sells the kind of stuff, you can take and look on Amazon for dye sublimation mugs and stuff like that. So if you do own Cricut, like the papers or the markers, look on Amazon if you don't have like a local shop that does the kind of stuff that we do, that for dye sublimation, like mugs and coasters. I do have a video about the infusible ink markers because Cameron took and did a mouse pad for his daddy with them. And he drew out his design, and then we heat pressed it on. It was so cute. Yeah, and see, with your calligraphy, those markers would work great. See, yeah, there are cheaper options. I don't feel comfortable taking and changing out the inks and stuff like that, because a lot of times when you buy a printer, they can be expensive. And this way, when I bought it from Sublimation 101 is who I bought my printer from, I get warranty with it. And I don't know how y'all are with like electronics and stuff like that whenever it comes to your home stuff, but for some reason in my house, and maybe it's because my husband works IT, but everything we buy goes out before the warranty's expired. I would have to see, I have to look and see if I've got that. It might be, because that's just our regular Nederland Bulldog. It wasn't like anything special. But I have to look and see where it is at in my files, because Lord, let me tell you, my file collection is huge. My husband hates running the server stuff. I have product to produce that is more than 6 colors. Which machine is best for many? Is sublimation or vinyl? Okay, so there are different products that you can use. Okay, so if you're talking about something that's 6 color, you can do, are you talking about for shirts? Or what are you wanting to do that is 6 color? Yeah, see, I understand that, and we always buy the extended warranty. I know that it's a waste of money, but it seems like if I don't, I've had more stuff go out than I can even count. And I've had like TVs and stuff. Yes, I've done HTV on faux leather. I have a couple of videos on it. Like a dress. Okay, so for a dress, if you're wanting to do something that's like more than 6 colors, you can do screen printing. There are digital printers, like you can buy, like I sell on the website for regular inkjet printers. It's a home printable vinyl made by Specialty Materials. It's good. And I'm not a big fan of really any home printable vinyl, but it works to do its purpose. I definitely don't recommend the stuff you can buy at like Office Depot. Yeah, see, Autumn, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, that makes me feel better that we're not the only family like that. But yeah, because electronic equipment is expensive. Very expensive. Especially, let me tell you a secret, when you have a husband who works in IT, which mine does, everything that comes into this house that's electronic has to be the best and the top of the line. Well, that stuff is expensive. Okay, Easy Subly is impossible to find. You know that there's like Thermoflex Plus, not Thermoflex Plus, but Glitterflex Ultra, all the glitters you can take and do those sublimation prints on. You've done it on glitter? Is that what you're telling me, Tina? Sometimes I only catch bits and pieces of comments because they come in too fast. So, okay. So your husband's in IT too, Linda? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah, I think Heat Press Nation does sell it. Well, I'm more masculine. Okay, so Well, if you're using a polyester shirt, you don't have to print it on something. Monitors, desktops. Okay, yeah, no. Wi-Fi routers, and we have, what is it called? A mesh system is what we just bought. Well, you can do some colored, and also if you have something that's a high enough polyester count, you know, the bleach method, you can do the dye sublimation like that on top of that. It's really kind of cool looking. Just an idea, which is something I'm going to do as a tutorial pretty soon. And it's something different, you know. You always got to look for something different. But yeah, like my husband, we had to go buy a Wi-Fi router, a mesh system. It's made by Linksys. Google has one, or whatever. Several brands have one, to be able to make the Wi-Fi go around our house and spread out more evenly, or something like that is what he told me. Again, I don't know half the stuff that he's talking about. I was joking with him last night. We were sitting on the couch and I was like, you know, you don't ever have to worry about me leaving you, because I would be completely SOL if you were gone, because I have no idea how to work half the stuff in our house. Like, I know how to turn stuff on and send it, but like our thermostat, all of our light bulbs, washer and dryer, all of that stuff hooks up to Wi-Fi. And I'm like, I don't know how to run this. Like, if during the middle of the day, literally, if stuff stops, like if the Wi-Fi goes down, I'm like calling Jeremy, oh my God, I can't get online, I can't do anything. And I mean, he's great because he can remote in and fix stuff, but, or he'll walk me through like returning, like, because you have always, first and foremost, no, don't forget this tip, I will tell you this. Something stops working that's electronic, first and foremost, turn it off and turn it back on. My husband tells me that. Did you turn it off? Did you turn it back on? No, let's try that first. So always remember, if it doesn't want to work, turn it off and turn it back on. Sometimes rebooting is all it needs. Yeah, I can't thread it to a sewing machine either. Yeah, see, I mean, at least I'm not the only one like that. And that's the thing about it, like, and when me and my husband started dating, because we did, his mom, Mary, my mother-in-law, ran a computer store. So he's been working on computers literally since he was 12 years old. When we got together at 17, I wasn't really much into technology. I mean, like, at that age, I had like one of the Nokia phones that you could change the screen out on, and you could play Snake on it, and that's about all. But other than that, and I knew how to turn on and off a TV, but I wasn't much into anything computer. Like, I wasn't on AOL and all that fun kind of stuff. That just wasn't my thing. And like getting into text messaging, I've just recently started to text people over calling them. And still, if you're someone that I like, I'm always going to call you before I text you. Just a heads up. Because I'm just don't like it. Which is funny because I do the YouTube thing. What kind of Cricut machine do I have? I have the Cricut Maker. I have the Cricut Explorer Air 1, which my sister-in-law now owns because I gave it to her. And then we have the Cricut Explorer Air 2 that's at the shop. Yeah, Latrina, I will try to find that bulldog, and I'll post it on our Patreon page in the next few days. Because again, it's one that I've had forever, because I've had that same bulldog logo. We're bulldogs here in Nederland. Yes, I love my IT man too. My husband, see, I get the silly grin when I talk about him. He drives me absolutely insane. Let's not play. Let's not. I mean, but when you've been with someone for 20 years almost, sounds like a long time, doesn't it? Especially when you're 36, fixing to be 37. But he drives me absolutely insane, but he's amazing. And he loves me and he would do absolutely anything for me, and he spoils me rotten, and I don't know. He's a great man. Jeremy, if you watch this, which he won't because he never watches my videos, see, I'm bragging about you. That's like a tick in my box, so that way, you know, I can be like, hey, honey, you know that new eyeshadow palette? Well, you should have heard me talking about you on YouTube the other day with all the girls, so that way you'll take and buy. You have a good day too, darling. Okay, so Kim yes, I have the Tessie. This was sent to me. I will show you it. Where is it? This is the Tessie heat press right over here. I've done a review on it. And it's like 200 bucks on Amazon. They did send me this one. I also own, I forget the name of it, another one from Amazon. But I actually do like the Tessie better because of the handle on the bottom. With that handle, it gives you some leverage when you're closing it. And those are the types that I would recommend for, you know, the $200 range. I'm not a big fan in the least little bit of the 5-in-1s. To me, when you're looking at technology that you're plugging and unplugging to be able to change out the platens, which the platens are what heat, when you're spending only 200 bucks on it, those are scary. And I've actually had a lot of customers who've had issues with like the connections getting broke or things sparking. So I always tell people to stay away from. Never played with one myself, but just know enough people who've had problems with the 5-in-1s to say that's not something I would recommend. You know, and maybe that's silly on my part, but whenever it comes to safety, I don't play, you know. No, the platen does not slide out. That's the only issue. But a lot of your basic clamshell, which that's what it's called, it's clamshell whenever they do that motion. But yeah, that on most of your basic clamshells, they're not going to slide out, and you're going to pay a lot more for one that does. Stahl's Hottronics has one that slides out, but I think those start off at like $2,000. Which is a whole lot more than 200. Okay, so it is now, I don't even know what time it is. Okay, it's 5:30. So I guess that's it for today. I'll have a new tutorial up tomorrow. We will, because I gotta go pick up Caden from theater practice. They're doing Shrek the musical. He's gonna be the White Rabbit. Don't forget, we do have a sale going on right now on our website through Sunday at midnight. All the specialty materials, deco film, soft metallics, the print, and the solids are $4.95. But yeah, I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all tomorrow.